What is your American dream?
I was born in New York. My American dream is music, and DJing is the one thing that I love.
My family's from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in the Bronx. My American dream is to achieve success and prosperity through my hard work.
I am from India. I do hope that each one of us realize our own humanity and start helping each other succeed. We are all humanity, and that's the least we should be able to do.
I am from Poland. My American dreams be close to my kids and my grandkids, be happy, enjoy daily life. My dreams are very humble.
I'm from Suriname, South America. My American dream is to take advantage of opportunities to excel at my talents.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. It is Wednesday. It is February 17th. It is Hump Day here on Brad Show Live, and it's going to be a testosterone-filled Hump Day because Vanessa Nesquik Contreras is not here. It is just me and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. What's up, my man?
Yes, it is. What's up? It's just you and me.
Just me and you. So you know what they do. They want a Hump Day when there's no female co-host.
Yeah.
They make us feel very uncomfortable sometimes, this crew. So I
hope it's not too humpy.
Yeah, I hope not. You know, we need that balance, you know, sometimes we're missing. But Nesquik, she is out on assignment.
You guys threw her out in assignment?
She's at, well, that's what you always say. That's what they say in the showbiz. They're out on assignment. But it's another way of saying, she took a day off.
Yeah.
But everyone always goes, yeah, she's out on assignment. Like she's very busy. No, she took a day off.
No, she took a day off.
She took a day off. She's allowed to take a day off. She'll be back tomorrow.
Great. Well, we miss her. We always miss her.
We do. How was your day today? Very cold out today.
It was great.
Great.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm alive. I told you, any day that I'm alive, any day that my friends and my family are good, it's a great day.
All right, great. Nothing fantastic happened. Just you're happy. Just a happy guy.
I'm happy. Just happy.
You are just a happy guy. You are just a happy yo-yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a happy yo-yo. It's nice nice, right?
And absolutely not. And I try to spread the good vibes and good energy as much as I can.
I like it. I like everything I'm hearing out of your mouth today. I like everything I'm hearing. All right. Let's say hello to the squad, Yo-Yo. Elizabeth Francis, squad up. Jessica Leamy, how are you? Marge Higgs saying, hey. Asila Enot, squad up. Brad and his team. Doreen Dappa, how are you? Rich Kinsey, squad up. Natasha Clark, squad up. I said Doreen Dappa already. Joan Grant, how are you? Jessica Leamy. Beverly Robinson King. Myrtle Ray, Dionne Watson, how are you? Who else we got here? Mavo Tom, One Love, how are you, Mavo? Carol Anderson, the Tiger, wishing everybody a happy Hump Day. Turner Sash. Mana Walters, squad up. She is manna from heaven. You ever hear that term?
No.
You're manna from heaven. Manna's bread, like food, like it's like a very positive, like abundance from heaven.
Okay.
I don't know where I got that term from, but I've heard that term before. You are a manna from heaven. It's like bread or food or something like that.
Learn something new.
Yes. I'll look it up and tell. Maybe I'm not giving you the exact, but I know it's something very positive.
Listen, I'll take your word for it.
I'm just going on all positive vibes right now. All positive.
Good. You feeling it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Well, you know what? You gave me those positive vibes, I like it. Elizabeth Francis, squad up. Violet Blackwood, how are you? Sheba Rawlings saying, hey. And who else we got here? Eric Tawaya saying hello. Ma Dukes popping in the comments. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Supan Thakar saying hi. Carol Anderson, the Cat Tigress 2 Anderson. Double fisting. So is Asila Enats. We got a lot of double fisters today. I got to tell you something, Yo-Yo. I got to tell you something, Yo-Yo. You know who's watching on YouTube?
Who?
Badass Lacey.
Badass
Lacey. I better. Badass asks a question. Make sure you answer it. All right. Make sure you ask it, and I'm going to answer it. I am not.
Make sure you ask a question.
Yes, I am not going to mess with Badass Lacey. If Badass Lacey asks a question, I'm answering it. I don't want to have any trouble. I don't want to have any trouble.
Ask a question. If Badass asks a question, I'm asking it for sure.
If you are calling,
I want no problem.
If you're calling yourself a badass, you know you are. You got to be a badass to call yourself a badass, right?
I don't think she would do it. I don't think she would lie. Okay? You don't lie about being a badass.
You know, I don't mess with badasses.
I don't either.
Sophia Morrison, squad up. Fotini Park, squad up. How are you? Sam T, what's going on? Carlene, squad up. How are you? Danny Boy 954, what's up, family? Yo-Yo and Brad, come on, squad up. Conrad Man and Sugar Lee saying hello. I like Sugar Lee too, without the R, so it's more like sugar, right?
Sugar.
I like that better. I like it without the R.
It's definitely supposed to be without the R.
Yeah, I know that. Sugar. Much cooler.
Yeah,
much
sugar.
cooler.
It's not even cooler.
What
it's just more. Like it's more endearing, like
it's more endearing, more endearing and loving, and more sweeter.
Sugar.
Yeah.
So
it's cooler also.
Yeah, it's cooler.
Yeah.
But it feels good, nice and warm. Sugar.
Right, and of course, God. Are you getting humpy already? Are you?
Low key kind of turned me on a little bit.
Okay. And also a great name, God is Merciful. I like that name as well.
Yes, we do like that.
Yes. And Elizabeth Darby, squad up. All right, Yo-Yo, take it away while I get ready to listen to you.
Okay, absolutely. All right, squad, you already know what time it is. This is what I tell you every single day. Remember, please, to share, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. He's going to fill us in on the latest headlines, including the Biden administration's official push to use more inclusive terms for immigrants. And it is Hump Day. You guys y'all wait for this day every day or every week, I'm sure. There you go. Oh, we already letting them out.
Those camels are ready. Those camels are ready.
Hump Day. Absolutely. So
camels are ready.
Yes, get ready for some carefully cultivated stories to spice up your evening.
Ooh, very nice, Yo-Yo. Uh-oh. Hustler Club.
Uh-oh.
What's going on there? It's already starting. Mitch, the TriCaster guy, already getting too excited for Hump Day.
Randy.
And of course, you could always call Spar and Bernstein. It is the telephone number scrolling on the bottom. You see my finger going right across there. And that telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, 1-212-227-8933. It is also the telephone number to call to get on our show and ask me your immigration question. We're going to be getting into our meat and potatoes with the immigration questions in about 30 minutes or so. We take 14 calls every show. So if you're one of the first 14 callers, you will get on our show and get your immigration question asked and answered by me. And of course, remember, if you want to play a virtual game with us, there is a bit of a waiting list, but we will fit you in. It's crew versus squad. And right now, crew versus squad, it's a tie. And we will play some virtual games with our squaddies. Just drop us a DM and we will definitely make it happen. And later in our show, I will be speaking with Puerto Rican actor and comedian Carlos Santos, who stars in the Netflix series Gentefied. And that was a fun interview as well. But right now, Yo-Yo, you ready to start some schmoozing?
Absolutely. It's time for Schmoozing with Brad.
So we talked about this, Yo-Yo, a lot, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to beat a dead horse because to me this is extraordinarily important. Words mean things, Yo-Yo. And I talked about this with Jill earlier. She says, "Do you want to talk about this again?" And I said, "Yes, because it's important to me. I've been talking about this for years, and I'm finally glad somebody's listening to me. But no, they're not actually listening to me, but I've been talking about it. Well, maybe they're listening to me. Who knows? But we speak about this all the time. And today, the Biden administration is officially urging officials to use more inclusive term for immigrants, including replacing the word alien in the Biden administration with the Department of Homeland Security, with the Department of Justice, with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. They are no longer going to be using the word alien. And they are going to instead be calling somebody a non-citizen. To me, I've been saying this forever. You call somebody an alien, it sounds like they come from another world. It sounds like they're scary. When you watch movies and aliens are rarely nice people. Aliens are usually mean creatures who are not really even human, that come from another part of the universe to come and overtake Earth. And that's what we call people from other countries. So, those words sink into our political and social fabric, makes people suspicious of foreigners. It's just extraordinarily negative. So I'm so happy to see that they're not going to be using the word alien anymore. And the Biden administration is going to start calling people non-citizens. Even the Trump administration, says here in my notes, referred to unauthorized immigrants as illegal aliens. And it was really, describing people like they were making an invasion, like it was alien invasion into the United States of America, which it really isn't. And they're also going to no longer use the word illegal. Most people who are here without status are not illegal. And when you hear the word illegal, Yo-Yo, it seems like somebody's committing a crime, that they committed a crime by being here without papers, by overstaying on their visa, by, crossing a border. And there's nothing illegal about any of that. Yet that's what people in the news, people in regular conversation, even me, sometimes I catch myself saying illegal. But there's nothing actually criminal about it. But it makes people think that people are committing crimes when they're not. There's nothing. Immigration is a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense. When you're undocumented, it is a civil offense, not criminal at all. And so now the Biden administration will no longer be using the word illegal. They're going to be using the word undocumented, which is really what individuals are who don't have status here in the United States. And it's all part of Joe Biden's move to be more welcoming to immigrants. Now, according to an email sent yesterday to USCIS officials, Acting Director Tracy Renaud recently signed a memo encouraging the more inclusive language in the agency's outreach efforts, internal documents, and in overall communication with stakeholders, partners, and the general public. Other changes, as I said, they are going to be using undocumented non-citizen, undocumented individual rather than illegal alien, and integration or civic integration instead of assimilation. I never really had a problem with assimilation, but I could see where people do. I had a much bigger problem with the word illegal and the word alien.
Yeah, same.
Now,
this will definitely help. Not only, to teach us that, they are also human, but it also makes, immigrants feel more welcome. A lot of them are trying to just leave their country for a better life, and for you to be welcome to a whole new country with people hating you, it's not, nobody deserves that. Especially innocent people who have not committed any crimes. My family, they're all immigrants, So I use that for example. I put myself in their shoes. Nobody deserves that.
Right. You got 5 fingers, right?
There you go.
5 on the other hand.
But even if
2
you don't,
eyes, a nose, a mouth, 2 ears.
But even if you
Right?
don't, people
Heart,
but
2
even
lungs.
if you don't, but even if you don't have 5 fingers,
Well, because
you know,
maybe right. But what the point I'm trying to say is, we're all alike. We're human
we're
beings.
all alike.
We're all right. We're all alike, human beings.
Yes.
So I'm happy to hear that. Meanwhile, in Atlantic City, which I have not been to in a very long time. When was the last time you were in Atlantic City?
For my 30th birthday, it was a surprise trip that my best friends did, and I had never been there. That was the first and only time.
Well,
What's that?
Yeah, it was there. Well,
Yeah.
the Donald Trump era in Atlantic City has now
about
officially come to an end. 3,000 sticks of dynamite during this morning's implosion of the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino. Front row seats to view the spectacle were sold out on the cheap. Onlookers in cars hoping to witness the symbolic finale of the former president's casino empire were charged $10. The implosion came less than a month after Donald Trump left the White House after losing re-election and became the first president in history to be impeached twice. Quite a metaphor, the destruction of the building. Do we have a video of the implosion, Mitch? There it goes.
There we go.
Quite. I mean, just you can make your comments, make your hashtags right there. A lot of metaphors you could say about Donald Trump's building imploding in Atlantic City.
I might have taken a special trip to Atlantic City just for that if I had known.
Now, Trump Plaza was the first of 3 casinos Trump owned before his gambling business in Atlantic City, which was a struggling city of 38,000 people, went bankrupt, leaving a trail of unpaid contractors and suppliers. To detractors, including the Democratic mayor of Atlantic City, Marty Small, today's demolition was the vivid embodiment of a long-awaited end to Donald Trump's association with Atlantic City. The mayor, in a bid to raise $175,000 for the Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City, had attempted to auction off the right to push a button to implode the building, but billionaire and owner of the building, Carl Icahn, who had supported Trump as president, scrapped that plan. An alternative auction for 10 hotel packages, including VIP viewing access, generated about $6,000 in bids, and the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino donated $10,000 to the club. But I'm sure Atlantic City is saying good riddance.
Yes. I don't think that they're going to be missing anything that has to do with Trump.
Yeah. And Rush Limbaugh, the conservative radio host who for decades was the king of talk radio that shaped the politics of both the Republican Party and the United States of America. He died today after a battle with cancer. He was 70 years old. Limbaugh announced in February 2020 that he had been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer. He continued to host his radio show and his TV show. He was a pioneer on AM talk radio for 32 years. He hosted the Rush Limbaugh Show, a nationally syndicated program with millions of loyal listeners. The Rush Limbaugh Show helped popularize political talk radio format and usher in the generation of conservative infotainment. Limbaugh often discussed conspiracy theories. He generated a lot of controversy for hateful commentary on gender, sexual orientation, and race. He was one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters. He relentlessly attacked President Obama, and for the last few years, he has been peddling this false deep state conspiracy theories, providing cover for Donald Trump as a friend and legitimizing what is basically a falsehood that Donald Trump won the election by a landslide. He was announcing it all the way to the end. He even dismissed the coronavirus as a common cold, said it was nothing, and contended that it was being weaponized by members of the mainstream press just to harm Donald Trump and his re-election chances. Now, listen, I'm not happy that anybody dies. I really don't wish, anybody to be dead. But this guy, as far as I'm concerned, based on what he was saying and what he was doing, and you could say I'm being very unempathetic to a man who just passed, but I don't see why the world would miss him.
I would just like to say rest in peace to Cicely Tyson. Mm-hmm. She was just finally buried yesterday. her funeral was right across the street. That's all I have to say.
Okay. And
I mean, that guy, he spewed hate, you know, to millions of people, and so many people followed him.
Yeah.
You know,
and believe it.
like you said, I don't wish hate about anybody. I don't wish death to
That's
anybody.
right. I don't want anyone to suffer.
I ain't shedding no tears,
but yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it is frigid, not only here in New York, but across most of the United States, including the deep south in Texas. Are you seeing what's going on the TV? More than 200. More than 200 million.
I have family out there
in Texas.
Yeah, I had to call them. I've been calling them for the past week. It's really bad out there because they're not equipped for this.
They're not ready for this. It's just as cold in Texas as in New York, except New York knows how to deal with it. Or maybe it's a little colder in Texas, but I mean it's still frigid everywhere.
But the thing is, New York has, our pipes are built for it. We have trucks that plow. We salt the streets. They don't have any of that.
That's correct. Now, 200 million people. We'll talk about this. Why?
Yeah.
Okay. 200 million people remain under some sort of weather-related alert after a winter storm that blew across most of the Midwest and Texas. Texas is in single-digit temperatures. New York is used to that as well. Snow and sleet on Thursday. New York is used to that as well. A lot of the Northeast and Midwest is used to that. Dallas, however, has never seen temperatures down to zero since the coldest recorded temperature taken in 1949. So this is the coldest Dallas, Texas has been in 75 years. People have lived an entire life and never had to live in 49 in zero temperature weather like they're doing right now in Dallas. So all the power has been lost. Millions of people have lost power. Some people have it. CenterPoint Energy, which runs the grid in Texas, serves the Houston area specifically, announced yesterday that its outages currently affect 1.27 million people and are going to last for several more days. Now, rolling power blackouts were reported across Texas yesterday as the winter storm and frigid temperatures gripped the state. The storm, which Governor Greg Abbott declared a statewide disaster Friday, has led to at least 26 deaths, most of them in Texas. Now, the problem with Texas, Yo-Yo, is that they are unregulated there. So they have their own statewide power grid. And almost all the other states, I don't know of any other state that has its own statewide power grid. All the other states are regulated by the federal government to be able to provide power in various weather situations. Texas avoided any federal regulations by building their own power grid. As a result, they are falling flat on their face there, because they were not expecting this, and there was no regulations for any power company to make contingency plans for people who are in 0 degree weather.
Yeah.
So
it's sad.
Yeah.
They're really going through it out there. I was talking to, because I have my aunts and my sisters out there as well, and luckily, 2 of them, they, grew up in Kansas City. So they know, certain things that you have to do, like keep the water running just a little bit so your pipes don't burst, and, making sure that you keep your bathtub full of water just in case your water gets turned off for the toilet. But a lot of people there don't know this. So everybody out there is just going crazy.
Yeah, but they don't even have, a lot of people don't have warm clothes. A lot of people, you don't have heat. So you don't even have very heavy clothes to wear, heavy blankets. People aren't used to this, and then to have no heat coming into your home.
Right,
or
and
your
I think
apartment building.
they had a week to 2 weeks. From what my sister said, they had about a week to 2 weeks of warning, but it's still, you're like, okay, they've never had anything like this.
Let me explain something. It's really great when guys run for president like a Donald Trump and says, we have too much regulation in America. We're going to cut regulation in America. Businesses need to make money. We don't need these unnecessary regulations. Well, you know what? Yeah, your businesses made money. Some fat cats got rich. Texas has no regulation on their energy, on their power grid. As a result, this is what happens when you have a weather situation. When businesses have no regulation, they can do what they want.
Right.
Causes death, causes destruction, causes misery. Regulations are put into account because it's supposed to protect people. And your politicians are like, regulations are bad. And you know what happens when you cut regulation? There's certain regulations that are stupid, obviously. Nobody says every regulation is like, a godsend. Okay? Right. But you have to have regulations, for people to come. I don't get when somebody says we're going to cut all regulations and that way, businesses can make money. Okay, great. Businesses are making money, but does the individual person in Texas have anything to do with the power grid in Texas? No. It's a few rich fat cats who are making a lot of money because there's no regulation on the power grid in Texas. The average person in Texas is not making one dime, not making a dime because there was no regulation on the power grid in Texas. It's just, rich corporations and rich people who own them.
Right.
Okay, yet all these politicians come and they go into their campaigns and they're like, you know what? We got to cut regulation. We cut regulation. You're going to be a very happy person. I don't know how that makes anybody happy. Cutting regulations, no government oversight, and this is what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Meanwhile, are you following what's happening with our friend Governor Cuomo here in New York?
What's happening?
Yeah. So, he had his, moment in the spotlight when everyone was like, loving him, and he was making his, his daily briefings about coronavirus, and people were comparing it to Donald Trump's daily briefings when Trump is telling everybody to drink, Drano and put light through your veins or whatever he was doing,
He was crowned America's governor.
Yes.
Last year.
Right.
Like that's what they was loving him.
Now there's an issue with deaths in nursing homes with Governor Cuomo. And apparently what was happening was when patients were being treated for coronavirus from a nursing home, they were transferred to a hospital. And many times they got transferred after they recovered back to a nursing home, back to the same infected nursing home where they originally left from, and perhaps even bringing coronavirus back into a nursing home. And it was a problem for Governor Cuomo. I'm not exactly sure why that was done, whether that was Cuomo, whether that was the New York State Department of Health. He claims he was following federal mandates. I got to look into it more. I don't know why that was happening. But as a result, there ended up being a lot of what I'm reading, unnecessary deaths.
Unnecessary deaths. No.
Because of this policy. And then as a result of that, unnecessary deaths, Governor Cuomo wanted to make sure that his statistics made him look like he was in the best light possible. So when somebody would get sick in a nursing home, they would transport that person to a hospital, and then ultimately, sadly, that elderly person would die in a hospital. And those deaths were not counted as deaths from a nursing home. They were just counted as an additional COVID death in a hospital, thus lowering the number of actual deaths that happened in a nursing home, and then making Governor Cuomo presumably look a little better than what the statistics show. So apparently now all of this has come out. People are calling for Governor Cuomo's head. I'm not sure if lying about statistics about deaths in a nursing home is criminal. You hear people saying he's criminal. I'm not sure if lying about statistics, whether somebody died in a nursing home or they died in a hospital, is a criminal act. I'm not sure what criminal statute that would break. It's obviously,
I would agree.
It's obvious,
morally or ethically wrong.
Correct. It's obviously lying to the public
Right.
about your situation in your particular state. He was absolutely, if this is true, absolutely dishonest and disingenuous about what was going on. Perhaps it's criminal if he was not following rules and regulations and they were moving patients back into nursing homes which caused death purposely or negligently. I don't know if that's what happened.
Right. I saw he said that his administration should have done a better job with transparency, but didn't apologize. So, like, if he's blaming his administration, would that be criminal to him or the administration?
That's just disingenuous to other people, which is why, and by the way, this all came out because this, in politics, it's, when the SHIT hits the fan, everyone wants to save their ASS. So Melissa DeRosa, who was Governor Cuomo's top aide, because Governor Cuomo is, saying, well, my administration did this, my administration did that, and he's trying to blame everybody. So Melissa DeRosa says, I'm not going to be the fall woman. So she started telling Democratic lawmakers that the administration delayed sharing the death toll information with the Democratic senators, state senators, and assemblymen, because Governor Cuomo was worried that the information would be used against us being the Cuomo administration, in a Justice Department investigation. So perhaps the Justice Department was going to investigate. Perhaps that is a crime. That if there is an ongoing investigation, and the Justice Department asks for information about that investigation, and then they give false testimony or perhaps false information to a Justice Department investigation, perhaps that could be a crime then. The actual providing of false information, false documentation, that could be the crime. We don't know. We don't know, but I am extraordinarily disappointed when I
am too, because I liked him.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could like him anymore after all of this, and a lot of people can't. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Maybe he did nothing wrong. Maybe he did. It's all allegations right now, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
And finally, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, there's now more than 109 million coronavirus cases worldwide. In the United States, 27.5 million people have been diagnosed with COVID. President Biden set a new deadline. He said at the end of July, the United States is going to have enough COVID vaccine doses to vaccinate everybody, including you, Yo-Yo, if you want one. He also said the nation will be back to normal by Christmas.
Oh.
And you want to know what I have to say?
What?
Christmas can't come fast enough.
Man.
Christmas can't come fast enough.
Who you telling? This about to be the best Christmas ever.
All right. So now, Mitch, now you could release the camels.
Let them out.
Let them out. They've been anxious all week.
It's hump day. It's hump day.
All right.
It's hump day.
All right. So, Yo-Yo, you ready for this?
I don't know.
You don't know. All right. A Royal Navy officer has been filming, of course, this is in the UK.
Right.
A Royal Navy officer has been filming online, quote, porn to order with her lover from inside a secret British nuclear submarine base.
What?
They've been making porn movies at night when everybody else is sleeping at the submarine base. Lieutenant Claire Jenkins, she's known by her fans on OnlyFans as Callie Taylor, has posted explicit material from inside the Fastlane nuclear submarine headquarters at Her Majesty's Naval Base in Scotland. Many of the X-rated online clips include the 29-year-old naval lover. Boy, I keep my tongue twisted on that. Naval lover. Right. Is that what you would be, a naval lover? Yes, you're a lover of a woman in the Navy. Okay,
Right.
now I understand what naval lover meant. I'm like a new term. What is a naval lover? Now I know. Okay, and by the way, no pun intended, but her lover is leading seaman Liam Donington. Her naval lover is leading seaman. That's his title. Apropos, Yo-Yo, apropos, but that's his title on the submarine. Leading seaman. Liam Donington.
Pun intended.
No pun intended. A Navy source said the commanders can't believe this. There could be all kinds of security risks. Confronted by her bosses, Jenkins reportedly confessed, but continued to post more X-rated content over the weekend, including a video with the caption, "He really used me," referring to the leading seaman, Liam Donington.
So you can't get like let go from that? Isn't that like against?
We don't know.
protocol?
We don't know what happened to her, but she works on a submarine with this leading seaman, Liam Donington. I love saying that for some reason. That's submarine.
Yeah.
All right. It sounds like a silly movie to me more than anything. Like bumbling people on a submarine decide to make like homemade porn movies, right?
I mean, it's just Zach and Mary make a porno.
Yeah. By the way, very funny movie. That was a funny movie.
That's actually a great movie. But they make a porno in like a coffee shop.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly. But this is now inside a submarine. I guarantee you, in 2 years, some producer in Hollywood makes a movie about this now, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Meanwhile, a man who sued his parents. We talked about this about a year and a half ago. The lawsuit's finally over. I don't know if you remember this story, but
What
a man
happened?
sued his parents for throwing out his porn collection.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this? Well, he won his lawsuit in Western Michigan and can now seek money from his parents. U.S. District Judge Paul Maloney ruled in favor of David Working, who said his parents had no right to throw out his pornos. He lived at their Grand Haven home for 10 months after divorce before moving to Muncie, Indiana. Working said the boxes of films and magazines were worth an estimated $29,000. The judge said there's no question that the destroyed property was David's property. Defendants repeatedly admitted that they destroyed the property. Now, the parents said they had a right to act as his landlord, but Maloney pointed out the defendants do not cite to any statute or case law to support their assertion that landlords can destroy property, including pornos.
$29,000 worth, though?
Yes. It wasn't.
You're a weirdo.
Yeah, it's weird. $29,000. Now, Working said it wasn't so much the money, he just liked the pornos. Now, he didn't say that, but I don't know why he would say that.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Like, there's free porn online.
Yeah,
like,
come on, man.
It's just being petty. Like,
Yeah.
towards your parents, too.
Yeah.
That just means they got a bad, like, they had a bad argument. They have bad, I can't get with anybody who has bad relationships with their parents.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see what happened. The mom walked in on him and she's like, David, I don't believe it. What are you doing? Pull your pants up and stop watching those pornos.
How old is this man?
He's a man.
And the judge gave it to him? That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
That belong on like a Judge Judy or like Judge Maybelline. Like that should be on like a TV courtroom.
Yeah, that's another movie right there. And now,
Right.
and now, speaking of movies that were made from porn stories, made famous from The People versus Larry Flint, porn publisher Larry Flint, he died, but he was sent off with a bang. Larry Flint's Las Vegas Hustlers Club will honor its founder with a sexy celebration of life party, complete with performances by pole dancers, drinks, and an on-stage memorial next weekend. The strip club remembrance ceremony is reportedly planned to mirror the lifestyle of the porn peddler turned First Amendment champion, who died of heart failure last week at his Los Angeles home at the age of 78. Flint fought several high-profile legal battles, including involving the First Amendment, and unsuccessfully ran for public office. He was paralyzed from the waist down when he got shot in a 1978 assassination attempt by serial killer Joseph Paul Franklin. The club's dance group, Sexy After Dark, a barely clad burlesque troupe known for its pole acrobats and onstage sexuality, according to the Hustler Club website. What is quite ironic about him being shot and he was paralyzed from the waist down, he couldn't perform any sexual activity, yet he was because he was in a wheelchair. Yet he was the porn king for the late 70s and into the 80s.
Listen, I'm here for a great send-off. I think that's a perfect send-off for him.
All right, and I think that's going to be our hump day for the day because we got to get into our immigration questions. Yo.
Shout out to Nesquik. She's in the comments and on Facebook as well.
All right, but in today's education, I'm going to answer the question: how long after I get married can I file for my spouse? Let's watch. You can file for your spouse the next day, and you should. People think that they should wait because somehow it's going to make it look like it's more of a real marriage. Quite frankly, if you're in a real marriage, it's going to be real if you file the day after you get married, and it's going to be real if you file 6 months after you get married, and it's going to be real if you file 1 year after you get married. So you might as well file right after you get married. If, on the other hand, it is something other than a real marriage, whether you wait 1 day to file, 6 months to file, or a year to file, I can almost assure you, you will not get through. The Immigration Service will figure it out, so you're only hurting yourself and fooling yourself. Quite frankly, don't outsmart anybody. Don't try to outsmart yourself. If you're married and you want a green card, get married, file right away. All right, Yo-Yo, we got an issue. You see this wire?
Yes. No, that's for your calls.
That's for my calls.
So you can't throw that back into whatever you need to do?
I got to restart the machine.
Okay.
So as I restart the machine, we're going to ask you to serenade the squad.
Oh,
Can you serenade the squad? I know you have a good voice.
Don't.
What is your favorite song, Yo-Yo? Tell me what your favorite song is.
A house is not a house. Oh no, is that how it goes?
Is that how it goes? I don't know what house is not a house. I never heard that song.
Obviously, I can't serenade.
You cannot serenade. All right.
No.
Let's see. Hopefully, we're back online now. Let's see. No, we are not.
Does that mean that we're not?
We are not.
So do you want to do social media check-in as we're waiting for the calls to happen?
Well, this is the problem.
What's the problem?
I can't troubleshoot the machine and do social media check-in at the same time. I'm good, but not that good. But you want to know something?
Well, tell me.
Magic 8 Ball. If Yo-Yo and I delay long enough, will the machine just automatically turn on by magic?
Yes. Okay. What did it say?
It says it is certain. Let's go. Let's go to. You got a question? I got an answer. All right, let's go to our first call. It's Aziz in Huntington, New York. Aziz.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
You're doing great.
Thank you. I try to do great, Aziz. How are you doing in Huntington, New York? That's my.
Nice.
By the way, out there in Long Island, in Huntington, New York, that's my homeland. It's where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah, it's where I grew up as a child, all the way out there in the Nassau, Suffolk border.
That's cool.
All right, you're living my homeland. What's going on?
Okay, it's okay. I have one question. I have two parts of question.
Yes.
One is the Dream Act, and along with this essential worker. And Dream Act, let's say the kids are withholding of removal and living since 20 years, and they cannot fit in the Dream Act without any problem, because
I'm confused what you're asking me. Who has withholding of removal?
okay, the kids has withholding
Which
of
kids?
removal.
Which kids are you talking about?
My kids.
Your children. How old are they?
They are not more kids now. They are like in 30s now.
They're in their 30s. When did they come
Yes.
to the United States?
In 2000.
They came.
When they were 9 and 12.
They were 9 and 12. And when did they get put in removal?
In 2007.
In 2007. And they got withholding of removal. How old? What year were they born?
Say again?
What year were they born?
They born in 1988, and one is 91.
98, 2008. I got to do math. And one is 91. Okay.
Yes.
So how come they went to high school here? They graduated high school, right?
Yeah, they did everything from here.
So how come they never applied for DACA?
Because we already have a work permit, and we have they renew our work permit without any fee. So I asked my lawyer. She said you don't need for the DACA because you already have.
But the DACA puts them in a better position to me than withholding or removal. So I kind of disagree with that, because withholding but that's just my 2 cents on it. But
sometimes we get a bad experience from the other people.
Do you?
And she said,
Let me ask you a question, Aziz. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to let's cut to the chase. You and your wife also have withholding of removal.
Right.
Okay, and where are you originally from?
Pakistan.
Okay. And so you have been living here within the United States, withholding of removal. You never left the U.S. and you just renew your work permits every year.
Right.
All right. Your kids, we're going to have to assume, and I'm almost 99% certain it's going to happen, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow because Biden's going to be introducing the Immigration Act of 2021 tomorrow or Friday. So we got to assume that of all of that compilation of different laws that he wants to change, the DREAM Act is going to pass. And if the DREAM Act passes, at this point, don't bother with the DACA because let's see what happens with the DREAM Act in the next couple of months. If the DREAM Act passes for your children, what they're saying right now is the law is going to be if you came here under the age of 17, you can, and you graduate high school and do 2 years college, 2 years in the military, you can adjust your status and get your green card. So if the DREAM Act passes, we will be able, I would assume, to reopen their deportation cases to allow them to apply for adjustment under the DREAM Act.
Okay, no, that's sure they're gonna fit it or just assume.
I'm sorry?
That's sure they're gonna fit in this DREAM Act.
Are they sure about this? No, nobody's sure about it. But what I'm certain about is that Joe Biden has made it a pillar of his first 100 days or even 6 months in office that he wants this done. And he has.
No, I'm not talking about the bill pass. I'm talking about the status they have with the holder of removal. Is there without any problem they're gonna fit on DREAM Act if it's passed?
Without any problem, what?
I say, let's say if it is passed, then they're gonna fit in this DREAM Act or not?
What do you mean settle an agreement? I don't know what you mean by settle an agreement.
No, I said, let's say DREAM Act, if it passes.
Oh, DREAM Act, if it passes, yes, your children will be able to take advantage of it, and they will be able to get their green cards.
But that's not clear, right? That's not clear?
I'm telling you it's clear. If the DREAM Act passes, your children who are physically here and under the age of 17 will be able to get their green cards. They came here under 17.
I really appreciate that.
Okay.
The second part is this: if they pass the DREAM Act, so my children, they are living since 20 years. They have to wait for 3 years for green card, or they're gonna do right away.
You're asking me to take guesses on what the legislation is going to be. Okay? And
Because
Aziz,
right
just listen.
now-
Aziz, let me talk now. You're asking me to take guesses on what the legislation will be. Nobody knows what the ultimate legislation will be. All I can... Let me finish and then I'll let you have your say. I promise you. All I can say is that and nobody's even read the legislation yet. It's going to be introduced tomorrow. What we're reading in the press is that if you graduated high school and did 2 years of college or 2 years in the military, and you entered the United States under the age of 17, and you were here for 4 years when the bill passes and you otherwise have good moral character, you can adjust to a permanent resident immediately. You don't have to wait the 3 years. Let me finish. I know you're anxious to talk. I promise you I'm going to give you your say. I will sit back and listen to you, okay? I just want to get it. I want to get what I have to say off my chest, and then I'm going to let you get what off your chest.
I appreciate you.
If on the other hand, you came here under the age of 17 and you're in high school or you didn't go to college, then they will give you an opportunity to do that. And then after you have all of your requirements, your 2 years of college, 2 years in the military, et cetera, then you would get a conditional green card and then be able to apply for a permanent. Now the stage is yours, Aziz, as they say.
Okay.
Aziz, you were so anxious to talk before. What?
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for yours.
I'm done. I said the stage is yours. I'm done talking.
Okay, I'm sorry. The second is essential workers.
Yes.
I mean, I'm driving since maybe and when the first wave was extremely high, that time I didn't work as a Uber driving, Uber and Lyft.
Okay.
So I didn't work on when it started. I mean, in March 2020. So I stopped working in March. I did before was 2 months, 3 months. Then after March, I didn't go for the job. So I restart again when the second wave starts. So who are the essential workers? We fit in the Uber as a Uber driver.
Are you talking about essential worker for getting a COVID vaccine?
Yes.
Yes, you're an essential worker. In Uber, in New York, in every state is different because it's a state. It's not federal. It's a state by state. But a taxi driver and an Uber driver, as long as you have proof that you're eligible for the vaccine now.
I'm not talking about vaccine.
Then what are you talking about then? Because there's essential worker has nothing to do with immigration.
Oh, okay, I got
it.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
All right,
thank you
you're
very
welcome.
much. Bye.
Let's go to Catherine in Redding, California. Catherine.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you, Brad?
Good. What's going on?
Good. You know what? I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me. What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What about now?
I can hear you now.
Want me to go like this? I can keep talking like this. I'll hurt my neck, but I'll talk right into the microphone.
Sorry.
No, you hear me now? I've moved the microphone up closer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's going on?
Okay, so I have a question. I filed for a K-1 visa back in December of 2019, and then we got approved in 2020. And so since the pandemic happened, so the K-1 visa stopped processing. So is there any news about when the embassy will get back to it?
Well, this is the news as I know it. There is a proclamation that was issued by Donald Trump that prevents these applications from going through. That proclamation is set to expire March 31st. We have to assume Biden will not make an extension of that proclamation. And as of April 1st, you will be able to process those cases at the U.S. Embassy.
Oh, okay. So,
but we don't. But the $1 million question is what is Biden going to do? Is he going to extend it? I can't imagine he would. But you never know.
Right. Okay. So, but I don't have to do anything else like in regards to like
at the moment, no.
calling them.
Well, yeah. Well,
so they're not going to expire then.
Well, what you would have to do is once the proclamation is lifted, squeaky wheel gets the oil. I'd be calling hysterical. I want to get married. I want him here. You're gonna sit back. Other people will be calling the embassy and harassing because they don't have enough people to interview everybody who has been delayed for a year. So squeaky wheel will get the oil. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. So okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Zenny in Charleston, South Carolina. Zenny.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
How you doing, sir?
Good. What's going on?
Okay. I have a few questions. I can barely hear you. I don't know what happened. The mic just like went out.
Why can nobody hear me? That's so
Hello?
strange. You hear me now?
Barely.
What about now? What if I just put the microphone to my mouth like this?
That sounds a little better.
That sounds a little better. All right. Maybe Mitch, you can figure out what's wrong with my sound, but let's continue.
It changed once. My call was intercepted by you guys, so that's when it changed. When I was on hold, I can hear you fine when you're doing your talk or speech.
I don't know.
All right, let's get to it. Okay, so this is in reference to a person who has never traveled outside their country, and they're from Nigeria.
Right.
They are trying to acquire a tourist visa to the U.S. from Nigeria.
Right.
At this current time, they have no financial backing. They are excuse me. They're currently in school in a country. My question to you is: can their parents or a family member support them to their visit to the United States on the purposes of a visit, temporary visit?
The answer is yes, but that's not what's going to get them the visitor's visa. When you apply for a visitor's visa, the number one thing that the embassy wants to see is you're going to go home. And the burden is not on the embassy to say, I have proof you're not going to go home, because the U.S. Embassy doesn't have to give a visa to anybody. And especially from Nigeria, they're very difficult. Even though Biden has lifted Trump's Nigerian ban, don't think it's going to be an easy walk in the park now for every Nigerian to walk into the embassy and get a visa. It's still going to be difficult. And the burden is on the person who walks into the embassy to prove to the consular officer that they have a legitimate reason to visit and even a more legitimate reason to return home. So, yes, the family can give support letter. Yes, when they're here, we'll support them. What is this group of people going to do to walk into the embassy to prove to a consular officer they're going to go back to Nigeria? Especially if they don't have anything back in Nigeria. They don't have, money, home, anything. The first thing that consular officer is going to assume is they're coming here to work or to stay and live.
Okay.
So that's the issue that you have to overcome. I don't have the answer off the top of my head. But so the answer to you is yes, to get a visitor's visa, you have a family member who wants to give support. That's wonderful. But ultimately, they got to prove they're going to go home.
Okay, so they have no ties to the U.S. They're just coming here for a
But they have ties to the U.S. You just told me they have family here.
No, sir. They had family. I'm talking about family that's in Nigeria.
Okay, fine. Yes, the family in Nigeria can give money to support them. But there's lots of people who come to America. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I know at the embassy, there's lots of people who come to America with no ties, no family here.
Okay.
That's not going to be, it's what are your ties to go back to Nigeria? And I mean, we could talk about it off the air, but, I got to get to the next caller, but that's what it is. All right.
Right. So if they had ties like schooling, family members.
Yeah. So that's what they would have to do. Bring it all in and hope for the best.
They're just basically going for a break time or something. This information for them. It's not for me. But I'm just it's hard to get information, concrete information, because you can scour the internet and get all this kind of information.
I've just given you all the information is, yes, you can get support from somebody else, okay? But really what it is where are they going to be staying? Do they have hotel rooms booked? Do you have a return plane ticket? Are you staying for a short period of time, not a long period of time? And what is your ties to go back home? Those are the questions that got to be answered.
One more question.
Yes.
So in the process of, just say hypothetically speaking, that they have an itinerary, right? Do they have to pay for the ticket beforehand? Because just say hypothetically that they don't get approved.
Yes. Get a refundable ticket.
Oh, okay, I got you.
All right.
And the same thing with all the hotels and stuff like that?
Yeah, make sure everything's refundable if they don't get through.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bad. I'm a first-time person hearing your show. I was on the internet scouring. I heard your stuff.
Well, I'm glad you scoured and called.
Highly recommended.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you scoured and called us. That's great. Welcome.
Thank you very much,
All right.
sir.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Elizabeth in Brooklyn. Elizabeth.
Hello, good night.
Good night. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And how are you doing?
Fabulous.
Yes, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I got a letter for my I-4 side said the 22nd of December they receive for my fingerprint from the 22nd. So I'm asking you if you know what time I could wait to get the appointment to do the biometric.
What is this for? Your green card?
Yes. It's for a green card, but remember I got to do the biometric.
Yeah,
first.
I know.
So
I don't know when you're going to get the biometric. Everything is extraordinarily delayed with COVID. So for me to take a guess when you get the biometric, I don't know the answer. But I can tell you it's very delayed. There are people getting work permits without even getting their biometrics taken yet.
Oh, because I've got a letter what they say if they determine me to take a
biometric, they'll call you. You're going to need one. You're going to need one for sure. But everything is delayed because of COVID. But people are still getting work permits without it, though. But good luck, all right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Chetan in Brookfield, Connecticut.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? How you doing? Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm watching your show on and off many times.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping many immigrants like that.
Thank you.
I'm working on H-1B and my wife on the H-4 visa.
Right.
And also have I-192 waiver for 5 years, and which is good up to January 2023.
Uh-huh.
We both are Canadian citizens.
Right.
So my question is it possible to renew the new or to get the new I-192 waiver without leaving the U.S.?
What do you need an I-192 waiver for?
I-92 waiver is, she was here for, in 2002, she was staying legally, and we tried to get in Canada, and some of the officers put some kind of misrepresentation of the document, and they banned for...
The answer is if you're filing an extension, she most likely would not even need the waiver because you're filing an extension. She would only need a waiver if she's leaving the country and returning again.
So does it matter this I-192 waiver?
I think she already, if there's an expiration, then you can file it here for sure.
Yeah, there is expiration. No, there is no expiration on that. It says that's good for 5 years.
So when is it up?
And then 5 years means when she entered for...
when is the I-192
will be
up?
completed on the January 2023.
So then she can just file an extension. They'll give her till January 2023. And then even if at that point you have to file another extension, it could be done here. She doesn't have to go home.
No need to leave the U.S., right?
No.
And my company also applied for 140,
because you can, if you're filing,
which is a green card process.
If you're filing,
and this will cause any problem for my wife 192 waiver?
Yes, because she has right now a non-immigrant visa waiver. which is different than an immigrant visa waiver. You can file for an extension of your legal status here in H4. Once the non-immigrant visa waiver expires, you can file for an extension on that waiver and an extension on the H4. When you go to apply for adjustment of status, you have to get the green card first, and then your wife has to file an I-601 waiver based on hardship to you because you would be the lawful permanent resident after you get through.
The green card process take a long time because I'm Indian born.
I understand that, but in other words, when it comes time for you to get, you don't have Canadian citizenship?
I'm a Canadian citizen, yes.
So if you're a Canadian citizen, then you don't have to be in the Indian category, you'd be in the Canadian category. Why are you in the Indian category?
But, according to the company lawyer, they say that because I'm born in India.
What? Oh, yeah, I understand because you were born there. That is absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I take that back. So, but I remember because I have looked that up several times already, and you're right. But when you file the adjustment, when you file your wife's adjustment, your wife can only get a waiver through hardship to a lawful resident, spouse, or parent. I assume she has no parent here. So when you file the adjustments, you have to be issued your green card, and then your wife has to file an I-601 waiver based on your hardship.
Okay, that's when I get the green card.
Correct.
That process start that time, right?
Right, then that would be a different waiver.
So when I get I-140, I still can get a H1B extension, and she will get H4 extension.
Correct.
And I-192 waiver, right?
Correct. And then when you adjust your status, she will be denied and has to do an I-601, or she'll be given 30 days to submit a I-601 waiver, most likely. But you can't even file the I-601 waiver now because you're not a lawful resident yet.
Yeah.
All right. You understand? So in other words, and I got to get to the next caller. Let me very succinctly. Yes, she can file an extension on her H4 through 2003. Yes, you can file an adjustment. Yes, she can file an adjustment. When it comes time to actually, your date is reached, you get your green card, they interview you, you will get a green card, your wife will get what's called a request for further evidence, which is they'll give you 30 days to submit an I-601 waiver based on hardship to her lawful permanent resident spouse.
Okay, I understand that one. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for helping.
Okay. Let's go to Nehemiah in Bakersfield, California. Nehemiah. Nehemiah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks very much. I'm fine.
What's going on?
Actually, I moved into the U.S. Last year, and because I wanted to file for an asylum.
Right.
Because I had an issue with the whole Nigerian stop government when it comes to the protest.
Okay.
And I can't go back.
Okay.
And I do not have much funds, and my friend said I have to file before 6 months before my this expires, so I can probably
you have to file the asylum within a year of your entry.
A year?
1 year of your entry, you have to file asylum, or forever hold your peace.
I have to wait for after 1 year.
I didn't say wait after 1 year. I said the absolute opposite of what you just said. You have to file within a year, not after a year.
Okay, within a year.
1 year of your entry into America.
Okay, but
what is your question for me today?
Okay, now I actually want to start filing, but I don't really know how to go about it.
All right, so
try to get 1 or 2 laws.
This is what you do. Don't go any further.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You need to show that you are part of a political group that is being persecuted and threatened in Nigeria. that you are a member of this group and you are being persecuted and threatened, and you have to tell your story. If it's a situation where you're just scared to go back to a dangerous place because bullets are flying, that's not political asylum. Political asylum means you belong to a group, whatever that group is, and you're being persecuted. Hold on one second. And then you tell your story, okay? And your story has to be believable. A long, detailed story about why you're being persecuted, how you became a member of this group, and what you do for this group, and why you're being persecuted. So hold on. All right?
Okay.
Let's go to Debbie in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Debbie.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What's going on?
I've been here for 2 years, and I wanted to know if my father lives here and my daughter recently came here to live, and I wanted to know if it's better to have my father petition for me or my daughter.
How old is your
She
daughter?
got married. She's 28. She just got married.
But she doesn't have a green card yet?
Not yet.
Okay, she can't file for you till she's a citizen, so she's way off. Have your dad file for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Sugar Lee in Columbia, South Carolina. Sugar Lee.
Yes, hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Well, I actually sent you a message through your Instagram, and you kind of communicated with me, told me somebody would call me, but I did not receive any phone call.
I'm sorry about that.
So I just thought I should reach you out through YouTube.
Okay. So you want somebody to call you? Hold on. You can speak to somebody humanly right now. Let's go to Ruben in Racine, Wisconsin. Ruben.
Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Okay. I have about 3 questions to ask. And the first one is that I came here in the United States with K1 visa,
right?
Which is August 4th, 2017. And we got married. And right after we got married, it looked like my wife delayed a little bit, and I was placed in deportation proceedings.
What did your wife do?
They placed me in deportation proceedings.
Why?
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Why did your wife? What did your wife do that got you placed in deportation proceedings?
She delayed instead of filing for me to adjust my status.
She delayed.
Right.
What did she delay?
Yeah, because she kept saying that, or she get no money, she get some bills and stuff to pay.
Where you from? Where you from?
I'm from Ghana.
All right. So you're in removal now?
Yes.
What's going on with you and your wife?
We're doing pretty good. We live together. We have a baby together. And
all right. So guess what? If your wife wants you, now's the time to file for you. Because if you don't file now, you can still file before an immigration judge in deportation and get your green card.
Yeah, so this is what happened. So when I was placed in removal proceedings, at my first hearing, before my first hearing, we filed I-130 and I-485 together, and we sent it to USCIS. So at my hearing, when we went there, the judge asked me, have you filed anything? We say, yeah, we filed I-130 and I-485. So he asked, is the I-130 approved? And we said no. And he said we should go. He gave us a time to go and wait for the I-130 to get approved. So we came home for maybe about 6 months and went again, and the I-130 wasn't approved. So we went to court, and he asked again, is the I-130 approved?
Racine, Ruben, what is your question?
So my question is that we have I-130 approved.
Great.
Yes, we have I-130 approved. So we went there, we went to court, and the judge was retired.
Okay.
Yeah, he was retired, so there was a new judge.
I still don't hear a question. What is your question?
So my question is that since I get I-130 approved, what do I need to do?
You need to tell the judge my I-130 is approved. I filed an adjustment with USCIS. Please give me an individual hearing to adjust my status before you. Use those exact words.
Okay.
All right, and they'll transfer the I-485 to the judge. The judge will put it for an individual hearing, and will adjust your status.
Okay, so we have already sent I-485 to the judge, which we didn't do biometrics because the first one that we sent to
Okay, Ruben, stop. You just asked me what to do. I just told you. If you need help because it doesn't sound like you understand what's going on, I can't take you through an entire removal case. It's very complicated. Okay, so if you're representing yourself, hold on one second.
No, I'm not representing myself. I have a
why don't you call your lawyer and say what's next? Why are you calling me? Just out of curiosity.
It looks like she doesn't really tell me, a lot.
All right, you need a good lawyer then. That's what it sounds like to me. What's next is hire a new lawyer. You have a lawyer representing you, and you're calling me, and I've just told you what has to be said and done, and then you're telling me an encyclopedia story. So you need a new lawyer because you don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let's go to Sadin in Bedford, Texas. Sadin.
Hello, Brad. Thank you for taking my call.
How are you?
Doing good, sir.
All right. Are you cold where you are?
Is,
cold and sad in
yes,
Texas.
Bedford, Texas.
Oh, Bedford, Texas. Okay. Oh, you're sad and you're in Bedford. Got it.
Yes. Okay. My question is, I'm on TPS right now.
Right.
And then I was a victim of crime for like 3 occasions, And then I filed for U visa.
Right.
On September 2020.
Uh-huh.
And then by the time I sent all the files and evidence and everything, but I didn't have the doctor's thing, I didn't have doctor appointment over there.
You didn't show an injury.
Recently, yes, I got robbed again.
Right.
And then the guy got arrested. So I started going to the therapy right now, It's recently. It was last month.
So what is your question? By the way, just for everybody out there, just so you know, when you apply for a U visa, what you're saying is I'm the victim of a crime. You have to be the victim of a serious crime. You have to have assisted law enforcement with the prosecution of that crime as a victim, and you have to show that you had a serious injury. So obviously your injury was not physical, which is why you're in therapy. You're claiming your injury was emotional.
Yeah. So,
and your question is what?
What is your question? With the recent robbery thing, like I started doing the therapy, so I haven't sent that thing, the recent file, the recent robbery thing. So do I send it like without them asking?
No. Wait until they request it. Never ever in any case send anything to immigration until it's requested.
Okay.
All right.
And then by that time, can I file I-130 from my sister who is a U.S. citizen?
Yes, you can do 10 different ways to get a green card, whichever one comes in first.
Okay.
All right?
Awesome. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your help.
Blessing in Dallas, Texas. Blessing.
Never, ever, in any case,
Blessing. Blessing, listen to your phone. Literally the phone, not the broadcast.
Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
Yes, I'm doing all right.
All right, can you lower my voice in the background so I can hear you? Thank you. Now you got me. What's going on?
Okay. Good evening. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Oh, my question is...
Blessing.
My question is...
Blessing. Blessing.
Yes, my question
Blessing. Blessing. Lower the TV or phone in the background. It's why you don't hear me.
Okay.
Nah,
I'm doing all right.
much better now.
Yeah,
okay, what's going on?
Okay, my question is, Happy New Year first.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay, my question is, I had a first.
Blessing, I'm here.
Okay. First, we had an intent to deny letter from the immigration.
Intent to deny what?
Intent to deny letter from immigration.
Intent to deny what? Who's filing for you?
Oh, well, I-130. I-130.
An adjustment? You got married to an American citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
And they sent you what's called a notice of intent to deny, what everyone calls in immigration a NOID, which means that they most likely do not believe that you and your spouse are in a real marriage. So when you either get Noyds or Stokes interviews, you got a Noyd, notice of intent to deny. And they give you all, and this is after your interview, I assume. You went on one interview, and then they give you this Noyd, this notice of intent to deny, with all the discrepancies that they discovered between your testimony and your husband's testimony as it pertains to the bona fides of your marriage. Your question is what?
Okay, now the question is, they've given us the denial letter.
So you got a denial after this?
Yes.
Okay.
And my question now is, what is the best things to do, please?
Okay. So you responded to the Noyd, you got denied. Do you and your husband live together?
Yes.
It's a real marriage?
Yes.
Okay. So if it's a real marriage, it's easy to prove what's real. It's hard to prove what's not real. Refile immediately. Don't bother appealing. Appeals take years and years. Refile immediately. Get an adjustment pending. Get your work permit renewed. And God forbid you get put in removal. You have a pending adjustment that could save you. An appeal doesn't save you. And then make sure that you do a better job this time in proving it's a real marriage. A real marriage is you live together. You have a financial relationship together. Maybe you need a good lawyer. You're talking to one. Hold on. Let's go to Teddy in Newark, New Jersey. Teddy.
Hi, Brian. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
My question is that I got married to a U.S. citizen when I came to this country.
Yes.
So after he filed for me, during the process when we send the I-48 and the I-75 one to the U.S. citizen, during the process, we fell apart in that marriage. Before they could even reply to us, the U.S. immigration sent me a letter of denial. They denied the application. We went to the court. We get divorced. Later on, I was in U.S. I fell in love. I got married to another person again. That person filed for my adjustment of status.
Right.
Since that time, they sent me my biometric. I went for the biometric. I filed for working authorization. Since that time, they didn't approve it. I called. Nothing. They didn't reply me up to now. So I don't know what to do.
You're in removal, though. Still. Teddy?
I marry you.
Yeah, you're in removal still. You're before an immigration judge.
Okay.
I'm asking that question. It's not a statement. It's with a question mark.
They didn't send me any letter. They didn't send me any letter of removal. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes.
So didn't you tell me in the beginning you got sent to a judge?
Nothing. No.
So all you did was you got married. Case didn't work out. You got divorced. Remarried again.
Yes.
Filed a new adjustment. When did you file the new adjustment?
I filed almost like last year May.
And you still haven't gotten a work permit?
Not yet.
All right, then you need a lawyer to look into this. Something's wrong if you haven't gotten a work permit. It's almost a year now.
Yes.
Hold on. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, you can always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, you can drop me a DM. You could ask anybody in the comments. I answer all the DMs, all my direct messages. I answer them all. Maybe not immediately. Sometimes it takes me a while. Lots of people DMing me. But I do answer them, and you're talking to me. And you could also follow me or follow our show, me, Yo-Yo, Vanessa, the entire crew at Brad Show Live for the best 1 or 2 minutes of our show. As I say every day, you can't handle 2 hours of Yo-Yo. I don't know who can't. Maybe there's 1 or 2 people out there who can't handle 2 hours of you. I can. But if you can't handle 2 hours of Yo-Yo, then you follow at Brad Show Live, because then you get 2 minutes of Yo-Yo.
Right. Yes. And you could get all of the yo-yo that you want.
It's 24 hours of yo-yo on Jonathan Elias TV, right?
It's a lot of yo-yo.
It's a lot of yo-yo. I mean, if you want, you can get your fill of yo-yo there, right?
There you go.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. All right, what do we got?
All right, first one comes from M. Ismail on YouTube. Any news about travel ban PP 1014 and 10052?
Oh, come on. I don't know what the numbers are, but the travel bans that are still in effect are the European travel ban and the Brazil travel ban. And if that's what he's referring to, I don't know what the exact numbers are. You have to stay out of those areas, the Schengen zone or the Brazilian zone, it's a full 14, 24-hour days. So if he's talking about that, you have to be out of that area. So if you live in Brazil or you live in Europe and you want to travel and you have an ESTA, you have a visitor's visa, and you want to travel to the United States, you need to leave that area, stay out for a full 14 full 24-hour days. 24-hour days starts at 12 a.m. So that means you got to physically be out of those areas for 17 days because the day into that area and the day out of that area don't count as a 24-hour full day. And your 14th full day starts on the 15th day. If that answered his question.
Okay. Gina Garcia, this is an email sent. My Egyptian-born husband received his green card and social security card. We never consummated the marriage, and he refuses to live as a married couple. He's been cheating since we met, is living with his boyfriend. Can we get our marriage annulled, please?
Yes, it sounds like it's a void marriage because it's a marriage based on fraud. You've never consummated the marriage. You never lived together. He refuses to have a relationship with you. He has a boyfriend. I assume you're a woman. So there was fraud there that he wanted to consummate the marriage with you and never did. I assume he told you he wanted to. That's fraud. And that's why you would get an annulment.
Okay, Bishop on Facebook. Any development update about backlogged asylum cases?
No, not yet.
And Abimbola on Facebook. When are they going to lift the visa ban from Nigeria?
The visa ban is lifted from Nigeria. The Nigerian ban is lifted. But you still have the general ban on, and that may have been the other proclamation from the other question. You still have the general ban on employment-based H's, L's, but that's worldwide. That has nothing to do with Nigeria per se.
Fiona Strachan on Facebook. If an I-130 gets denied and your I-485 didn't get denied, you went to your green card interview and they said they would open back your I-130, but you haven't heard anything from immigration. Then the lawyer that messed the case up did the reopening and it got dismissed. What's the next step?
Refile again because your case is denied.
Okay, Sajaka Jaka on YouTube. For an employment-based I-485 application, if I received an RFE due to late registration of my birth certificate, what supporting documents should I submit as further evidence or proof?
It's late registration. Who are you trying to prove? You're trying to prove who is who. You're trying to prove you're yourself, or you're trying to prove that one of your parents is your parent? What was the question?
It's for late employment based I-485 application. They received the RFE due to late registration for the birth certificate. So now they need supporting documents to submit for further evidence.
Affidavit. Well, you got to prove you are who you are. So affidavits from friends and family that you are who you are. It's an employment-based case. So you just got to prove your own identity. School records, medical records, hospital birth records, that type of thing.
Okay, Nigel, email. My mom wants to file for me. I'm 52 years old, but she tried doing it for me 6 years ago. We were told I would need to leave the U.S. and be banned. Should we try again or wait for Biden to roll out the amnesty plan?
You should speak to a lawyer and figure out why you need to leave the U.S. Maybe you need a provisional waiver. It sounds like that's what you need. I would start with a provisional waiver because who knows if Biden will pass the law, and if he does, you could always switch it over. But based on reading between the lines, sounds like you need a provisional waiver.
Jennifer Reeves on YouTube. What does it mean if my 485 is under pending review?
It means they're reviewing it. 2 more, Yo-Yo.
All right, it's Apple Pie on Facebook.
Right.
How do you calculate CPS age for a derivative? What must be done so a person doesn't age out?
Well, generally what it is you get to add the time it took the I-130 to get approved to the child's 21st birthday. I mean, there's different cases, but the most general one, because Child Status Protection Act could be you filed by your permanent residence parent and they became a citizen before you were 21. It could be you're a derivative on an employment case or on an F2B case. Let's take that because that's the most basic one. Let's say you are a derivative child on a preference category case. That's could be an F2B, an F1, an F3, an F4, an employment-based case. Doesn't really matter. You get to add the time it took either the I-140 visa petition or the I-130 visa petition onto the child's 21st birthday. Let's say it takes 2 years for the I-130 to get approved. Now the child has till 23 to get a green card. That child's birth date or age will be frozen at the moment that child pays the visa fees at the National Visa Center, provided he or she does within that 2-year period up to the 23rd birthday in this particular example, and as long as those fees are paid and priority dates are current, and they pay those fees within 1 year of the priority date being current, or files the adjustment same way. It's complicated. I may have made it more complicated for you, but that's basically it.
Okay, and last one for tonight. Mel, she's royal on YouTube. I'm undocumented, got married in 2018, got my I-130 approved in October 2020. Now I'm filing for VAWA. What forms do I need for 601A, 601 and I-485 or all?
You don't need a 601A. A 601A is for a provisional waiver. So if you're filing a VAWA, no matter how you enter the United States, you're eligible to adjust. So file an I-485 and the I-360 VAWA. All right, okay. Yo-Yo. Actor and comedian Carlos Santos currently stars in the hit Netflix original series Gentefied, and also co-hosts the all LatinX podcast Spanish Aqui Presents. Carlos joined me to discuss what it is like working with executive producer America Ferrara on Gentefied and his career path, which has taken him from his native Commonwealth of Puerto Rico all the way to Hollywood. Let's watch. Carlos Santos is a Puerto Rican actor and comedian who is presently starring in the hit Netflix series Gentefied. Executive produced by America Ferrara, the series is about a Latino family in the East LA neighborhood of Boyle Heights. You may also know Carlos from the podcast Spanish Aqui Presents as the host of MTV's Meet TRL and as the Metro PCS man. He joins me to discuss his career path and what it's like to represent the LatinX community through his craft. Welcome, Carlos.
Hey, Brad, what's going on, man?
How are you? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So you star in the Netflix series Gentefied. It premiered February 21st, 2020, and it's been renewed for a second season. So congratulations on that. What is Gentefied about?
Well, it's set in Boyle Heights, and it's called Gentefied because gentrification usually is about the process by which people from outside a community come in, put a lot of money into it, and they push the people that have categorically been a part of that community. And there's a process of erasure that obviously people fight against. Gentefication, which is a play on the words, it's from its own people. So what's ended up happening is that a lot of young people from the community have gone out to become professionals, but then they decide to come back,
right,
and bring money in and bring new things and change things while still being a part of the community. So it's a very delicate balance. And so I think the show just kind of like gives you like a slice of life in terms of like the more personal aspect of what that looks like. And we're not really trying to have an answer specifically, but we're definitely trying to explore what that means.
Let's watch a trailer.
There's nothing gentrifiers hate more than being called gentrifiers. We were tapping into their biggest fear.
Brown lesbians?
White guilt.
Let's see what our new friends have to say on Yelp. Food 5 stars, ambiance 1.
Dile a esos cara de culo, que aquí está su ambiente.
We need a new approach.
I'll give you a brand new list of ingredients that we can try out, and it's gonna be great. People love discovering new things.
No, we've been here, fool.
Gotta go all the way to Paris to be a chef.
I'm gonna bag Michelin stars and Boyle Heights.
Estamos preocupados por Chris.
Chris is going to be fine. He can afford help like therapy or Whole Foods.
¿Qué dijiste, Whole Foods? Que te pasas toda la vida construyendo un negocio. Para que un pendejo te lo quite.
We're not gonna save the shop with a burrito. We're gonna save it with some changes. This is chicken tikka masala taco.
Esto no es comida mexicana. No es comida mexicana.
Oye, ¿tú estás seguro que es mexicano? I'm more Mexican than all y'all.
Now, the show is in Spanglish, but there's English subtitles too, so it's easy for non-Spanish speakers to follow the story as well.
It's mostly in English. What's special about this show is that it doesn't hold back. Our family, with just 3 cousins and our grandfather, that's basically the Morales family. The grandfather doesn't speak English, which is something that happens. The showrunners, Marvin and Linda, really took from their own life and a bunch of like experiences. And so like we had the opportunity to show what that meant, to be able to talk to my grandfather in the show in English, but have him only speak to us in Spanish. So we just didn't hold back, or we did that thing where you say something and then you repeat it in another language to make it easier. To have the most authentic expression of that meant that sometimes people just go off in Spanish, if it made sense. But for the most part, my character speaks English. Like most of the show is in English. It's just not afraid to go to Spanish if it's organic and it means something to the scene.
Does that kind of hit home for you? Because I believe just, mostly, even in Puerto Rico, most of the older generations don't speak English and the younger generations do. So did that kind of hit home for you?
Absolutely. And like my nephews and nieces grew up in the US. Like I grew up in Puerto Rico, so I left after my freshman year of college. So I was able to just have my experience in Spanish while still learning English, because I was at an English school there for like a couple years, but cable TV was a part of it. But I think it was different for me to be completely immersed in that and then come out to the States, while they definitely, you could see that it's a little bit different when you only have it at home, but everybody else speaks English.
Were you always a comedian growing up, even when you were little? Everyone said you were funny.
Yeah, I think I was blessed in that by the time I was 14, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I feel like I realized that I had an affinity to try to make people laugh from very early on. I was trying to figure out what that was, like comedy, try to make people laugh, trying to get a positive reaction out of people. And then I was like, oh, I think this is a career choice. Maybe this could be a job.
Now, I mean, you really chased your dream, because originally I understand you were going to be an engineer.
The reason I got into engineering was literally because my friend told me computer engineering is actually, you make a lot of money. And I was like, all right. But literally, like me and math, we do not get along. To make a career out of that would have been so funny. I just did it for my freshman year when you're not really going into engineering. I ended up switching over to theater arts. So I went in the exchange program. I went to Fresno State, and that first semester, I ended up doing everything that had nothing to do with engineering. I ended up taking acting classes, singing classes. I did everything that I wanted to do, like, for me, I was more like a life training. And by the end of that year, I ended up switching over to theater arts, and I ended up graduating.
After college, you moved to LA. Tell me what it was like.
I was just happy to be pursuing this thing. I feel like that alone fueled me for so many years at the beginning. And I was lucky too, because by the time I moved to LA, within a month, I was auditioning for hosting. I took a detour into hosting. I ended up working first at a local television station here in LA called LA TV. And eventually that's how I got the experience to audition for MTV 3. And then I moved to New York and I did that for 4 years. So altogether, I hosted for like 7 years. My struggle came after I decided I was going to stop hosting, because I realized that that's not what was fulfilling. It wasn't for me. I wanted to focus as an actor and as a comedian. And so I had to make a choice. And that choice took money from me, because
you gave up a good gig.
Did not take hosting jobs. So for like 2 years, I was broke. But it was a sacrifice that I realized that I needed to take. I feel like, especially as minorities, sometimes you get pigeonholed and it's hard to like shake it off. So I realized that if I just kept doing hosting stuff, that's the only thing that I was going to be seen as. And so, you know, it took a while, but now I feel like those decisions and those sacrifices that I made 10 years ago now are seeing the fruits of that with Gentefied.
Were there times when you woke up and you said, maybe I should not have given it up, or you knew this is what you always wanted?
There's never been any regret. And while I remember, I think 2012 was the toughest year for me. A lot of things happened in my life that were unfortunate, like my dad passed away. I was most financially stressed that I've been in my life, and a bunch of other things happened. But there was never a time where I was like, uh-oh, I should go host.
When was it that you figured out this is paying off?
So for me, having financial freedom was the first thing that I wanted to do. And thankfully, I was able to do that when I got Metro PCS, which was literally at the beginning of 2013. So that was the beginning of being able to say, okay, now that I am financially stable, now I can start focusing on the stuff that I want, because I don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay for my bills or my rent. You know, I'm not going to be home. So now that this is good, now let me focus on, you know, and so I was able to reconnect with UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade. I started doing comedy again. I took more focus into like the improv and the sketch. I've always done stand-up over the years, but it's kind of been seasonal for me. But I think UCB was a really great place for me to go and just continue to like sharpen those skills.
You played a trained chef cousin, Chris Morales. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the character of Chris is very interesting. I mean, they call him Coconut, which is, you know, to tell you everything you need to know about the character. His parents moved him to Idaho when he was younger, so he got to have his formative years. So he was very much acclimated into more of like, you know, white culture than his cousins in Boyle Heights. So when he comes back, he's just searching for acceptance, and he's searching to be a part of something while still battling the fact that people don't accept him. And so like when he was in Idaho, he felt he was pushed away because he wasn't white enough, you know, that whole deal. So it's like an existential crisis kind of a situation. At the same time, he's still following his dreams, which in the show is to be, you know, to go to France and, you know, be a Michelin-starred chef.
Do you struggle yourself between the two different cultures?
I mean, at this point, I'm kind of surfing. I'm surfing because I've been doing it for so long. It doesn't feel foreign to me playing the character of Chris. It feels right at home. It really does.
What is it like working with America Ferrara?
Fantastic. She's great. And the good thing is it's good to have directors that are either very comfortable with actors or know what it feels like. She always made it very comfortable, and she always made sure that all the actors were taken care of. I was really happy that I got to do the 2 episodes where my character went through like the most in the series with her.
It shines a light, Gentefied, on many different issues. Without giving too much away, can you give us a little bit about what you're trying to get at, which is relevant to the Hispanic community?
It's a delicate balance of upgrading to a certain degree, upgrading the way people live in a place while still not erasing the culture. Putting it in those personal terms, I think it opens it up for discussion. And the good thing about the show is that it really keeps it real. Like, these are experiences that actually are affecting us. And I think that's why it's elevated for some people. Like, it really touched people's souls. Like, the show really resonated with a lot of people because we're truly like diving into a lot of the things that are happening in these communities.
Do you miss doing your stand-up?
Yeah, the last show I did was at the Laugh Factory literally like a week before pandemic started.
Let's watch a clip of your stand-up.
And I don't mind telling people, you know, about Puerto Rico, but sometimes I like to make stuff up just to see how people react. They're like, what part of Puerto Rico are you from? And I'll be like, I'm from jamón y queso. Spanish speakers? Okay, I like that. Awesome. Which is impossible, sir, that's looking at me with a weird face. Because I just said ham and cheese. Yeah, and we can't live with ham and cheese as much as we would all love to. You can't live it. And I'm tough, but I'm fair, because if somebody sincerely wants to know about Puerto Rico, I'll totally sit them down with Google and blow their mind with information. But if I say jamón y queso and you go, yeah, jamón y queso, yeah, that sounds so familiar. And I know you're just being a
All right, that's very funny. When you were hosting Me TRL You got to interview Alicia Keys, Beyonce, Ricky Martin. What was it like interviewing them? Were you starstruck?
I never really got starstruck with music celebrities. I think I would get most taken back when comedians or actors would come, mostly because it was a reminder that I was on the wrong side of it. But still, it was fantastic. I have a really great experience with Jennifer Lopez. In 1999, On the Six came out. It was the summer when the album came out. I went to like a record store in Puerto Rico to get it signed and take a picture with her, and we did all that thing. And like in 2007, she came onto the show, and so I was able to show her those pictures. It was very surreal because I did the Puerto Rican Day Parade for the first time through MTV3, and she came along. So it was like going from that to that. It was definitely like a whoa. Crazy. Those kind of moments are really cool, but I never really got starstruck. I think it was very much like, let's get to work, let's do all these things. Like Steve Carell came one time and I got to do a sketch with him, which was an amazing experience. It was probably one of the best experiences for me to write a sketch that he got to do with me and Anne Hathaway. They were promoting Get Smart at the time. It was a sketch called Pedrito, the Inappropriate Intern, and it was just like an intern he was just like inappropriate. It was just saying things that were, they're talking. Once he realizes he thought that Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway, they spoke Spanish because he used to watch The Office, but like dubbed. It was fun. It was fun because I wrote it, they looked at it, and we shot it in one take, which meant that there was a lot of that was improvised. So, and he comes from Second City, which I did too. I did Second City when I first got here to LA, the training conservatory. So it was just such an amazing experience to just play with somebody so good. Yeah, I always look back to that as one of like probably the touchstones of being at MTV3.
All the risks you took to follow your passions and your dreams, it all worked out. You have a recurring role on Gentefied, and you also have a very popular podcast, Spanish Aqui Presents. What's your podcast about?
While at UCB, I met up with these wonderful people that I continued to find myself playing with and finding that we had a lot of chemistry. Riza, Tony, and Oscar, really great improvisers and comedians in their own right, and actors as well. And so Riza ended up fighting for a show, like a live show. There hadn't been a live show at UCB with all LatinX people or talent on stage. So she fought for this show, and that's what Spanish Aqui Presents became. It became like a variety show for us to bring everybody that usually don't get, the people that don't get stage time for the most part. And then it gave us an opportunity to bring in people that we could interview and then also be able to do a little improv with. So we did that for 2 years before the pandemic stopped it. We had our 2-year anniversary in 2020, but we were able to transition into podcasts. And so we started a podcast last year on Earwolf and Stitcher, and we haven't stopped.
Let's watch a clip. Tell us what we're going to be watching.
But this is what we used to do before that we started doing the podcast. This is a clip of an improv set that we did with actress Janine Mason from Roswell, New Mexico, which is basically, it starts right as we're doing the improv based on the interview. We talked to her for like 10, 15 minutes, and then we just do like a 20 to 30 minute improv set. And this is her based on her father and the way she was dealing with her father and playing a celebrity softball game. And like the first 2-3 minutes is us playing around with that idea. Hey, I understand you're big time now, right? You're the big time, and now they invited you to places like a celebrity softball game.
See, Bobby, yes, but you know what? It's like super chill. Like, we don't need to stress. No one makes it. It's like just for fun, for a fundraiser.
Let me tell you something, Danny. Baseball is never for fun. If it wasn't for my injury, I would be at the top of the game. I would be Alex Rodriguez.
It's really funny. Where can people follow you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at, of course, It's Carlos. On Twitter at It's Carlos Santos.
You do your own social media?
I do.
It's all your content.
All my content. The good thing is that I've always edited my own projects. Like even when I was at MTV, I taught myself how to edit when I was younger. Those skills that I did because I loved doing short films with my friends when I was in high school and then in college with my best friends from Puerto Rico, translated perfectly to producing segments and sketches when I moved on to MTV. So these skills that I've kind of done just for fun have turned into something very valuable for me. I used to be a computer. Now I do all of my editing on my phone, like video editing, posters, art, anything. I just do everything in my phone. So I'm just happy to stay up to date with the trends.
Carlos, thank you very much for coming on. I have one last question. Retro Live is about reaching your American dream. What is your American dream?
I am in the process of continually reaching my dreams in terms of my career. And as we move forward, I think the biggest American dream that I could think of is everyone having the privilege to not have to justify their existence. Everyone should be able to do that. I think that would be the perfect American dream, if we could all just be and be accepted.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time. Carlos,
Thank you, Brad.
Watch Gentefied, great show. Follow him on his podcast as well, Spanish Aqui Presents. Thanks for coming on, Carlos. I really appreciate it.
Later, brother.
All right, let's put 50 seconds on the clock. I'm going to answer 9 questions or blow myself up in something we like to call social media speed round. Well, I forgot what we call it. Or maybe we won't do social media speed round. There we go. Nope, we're not doing social media check-in. We've checked in to social media. We've also checked out of social media. We're going to be doing speed round now. Yes. There we go. All right. Yo-yo.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, all right. We checked into social media. We checked out. We're doing speed round now. You right? It started already. Hey, go. It started. Hey.
Hold on.
Go. It's going. No, there's no start over. Go. They're going to blow me up. Come on, Yo-yo.
Y'all did that to us last time.
No, Yo-yo. It's blowing me up, man. Just ask the question, man.
No.
Yo-yo. All right. Wow, Yo-yo. I really thought they were going to blow me up. Go.
All right, ready?
Go.
How long can U.S. citizens stay out of the country?
Forever.
Marriage, I-485 interview, self-employed. What documents do we bring?
Tax return, bank letter, and a letter from you that you're self-employed.
How long for Syrian refugees to get an appointment?
Long time.
After I-130 approval, when will visa number be available?
Depends who sponsors you.
How long does it take to file for married parents?
About a year.
Can a stepson get a citizenship through the stepfather?
Yes.
Will a negative termination of my F1 visa affect my AOS?
Yes.
How long after sending RFE can you expect a response?
120 days.
Can you travel before a removal appointment?
No.
There you go.
Stop it.
Stop. Yeah, I'm not playing. I ain't playing.
All right, we did it, Yo-yo. Yo-yo, willing it. Mind over matter, Yo-yo. Demanding perfection. Demanding perfection. You are not letting Uncle Brad get blown up.
Absolutely not. Especially if I'm by myself. Nobody's going to blame that on me. He going to get this.
That's very true. When you and Nesquik, and I blow up, you guys go, well, it was that.
Well, you see, it's hard. Honestly, it's hard to do it with, each other because we have a delay.
That's right.
So, we go, right. There's seconds that are wasted. But when it's by myself, I guarantee you, I'm not going to blow you up.
No problem. All right.
All right. Comments of the day.
All right, what do we got?
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Ajoke Alami saying, Brad, the best immigration lawyer that gives people advice freely without asking for consultation fees. God bless you, Brad.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I agree. All right, our second comment of the day comes from Clifford Gordon saying, no human is illegal.
You got it. You got it. That's exactly it.
Yes. All right, and our third comment of the day comes from Abiodun Jimo saying, Brad, the world-renowned defender and advocate for immigrants.
Oh, thank you very much. Very nice.
Gotta love these,
man.
Wow.
My ego gets boosted every day during comments of the day.
Yeah, and I just love reading them.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and our last comment of the day comes from Elizabeth Francis saying, Uncle Brad is the best immigration lawyer. He always gives you the best advice, and he always is on point.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That's it.
That is it. That's the last.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow. Same time, same place, Yo-Yo.
Really? And same time, same place. We here.
And maybe Vanessa will join us tomorrow.
Hopefully. It's Wacky World Thursday tomorrow.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Good job, crew. Thank you, Mitch, filling in for TriCaster Guy. And we'll see you all tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.